Good afternoon, everyone! Welcome back. This is the cat. Hey, 21 Snakes, how are you? Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you all are having a great start to your weekend. This is a cat here who... Oh, hello. You're so excited that I came back here, aren't you? Look at you. Look at you, sweet child. I'm doing good. Great. I'm doing pretty good as well. I was tired earlier, but I had some coffee. And then I got a little stuck on Vampire Survivors, so we started half an hour later than I intended. But that's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Alright. So we're starting earlier because I don't know how much longer this game is, and I'm like, I want to make sure that we finish this as soon as this... What are you doing, cat? You're just so excited that you're here on the internet that you decided to just roll around. What? That's the mic. What are you doing to that? Okay, cat. Alright. You done? You're not gonna mute me, right? Okay. Okay. Hey, there we go! Hello. What's up, everyone? Alright. Welcome back to the stream. Like I said, it is Saturday, so we're playing Ace Attorney series. Our goal today is to finish this game, Justice Ace Attorney. We're almost done. I don't know how much farther, but we're almost there. And I'm ready. I've got water, I've got tea, I finished my coffee already, so yeah. I'm ready. Alright, let's pause the music. The cat really, for some reason, wants to be on the camera right now, so I'll put his little... There you go. He's like, hey, you took away my thing. I'm gonna start knocking shit on your desk. Put me back on the internet. Alright, cat. Alright. See? You're here. We're here. We're all fine. Everybody's fine. Let's do this. You just finished the 6th Ace Attorney game today? Nice, congratulations. Cat Cam, yep. Hey Chickapoo, how are you? Hope you're having a good weekend. Oh, I totally forgot. I don't think they're here right now, but I didn't realize that Wizard Vic resubscribed last stream when we were playing Boyfriend Dungeon. So, wherever you are, Wizard Vic, thank you. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate that. Just chillin'? Awesome. We're chillin' too. We're doing a simulation right now. Where we're in the past and in the present to solve the mysteries. We wrapped up everything here. Now we gotta get all of our clues for the present to try to put things together for this conspiracy that was going on. Something to do with the forged evidence that clearly Christoph Gavin hired the Mishams to create. And get Phoenix in trouble for whatever reason. I still don't understand the motivations behind this, but, you know, something happened. Alright. So we unlocked the Sunshine Coliseum, so I think it's time we head over there. Are you good? You good, cat? Okay. No, don't lick that! What are you doing? Cat just licked the microphone arm. For whatever strange reason. Alright. Present day, Sunshine Coliseum. Oh god, it's him. Alright, he is super sus. This guy, Valiant Grammary, is super suspicious. Our current suspicions are he is the one who shot, I forgot her name already. Thalassa Grammary, who is Trucy's mom, because they were doing a trick when it was supposed to be, you know, magic bullets, and then he must have accidentally hit her, and she is missing, presumed dead right now. Yeah. So there's some interesting stuff going on with Troop Grammary that we don't fully understand yet, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Alright. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. Long time no see, Mr. Valiant. 7 years, has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Actually, I came back because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press. I've nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. What does Phoenix have to say about all this? That sure is a big sign. Yes, it's a favorite of mine. Impressive, isn't it? I considered using it for one wall of my house when the show's over. Okay. Wow, your house is that big? I'm like, does that mean that his house is really big, or... I don't know. Actually, as fate would have it, I currently live in a one-room apartment. Right, so for the entire house, okay. But following the wild successes of my show, I intend to build a luxurious mansion. I was torn over just how big to make it. Oh, yeah, hold on. I remember what was going on. Okay, so not only was there the accident with the Lhasa, but there was also the incident for which Trucy's dad had to go into hiding. And that was the case with the forgery thing. So Magnifi Grammary was shot dead in the hospital. He was, he had, I think it was, yeah, he had cancer, and so he was dying anyway. And then he invited his disciples over, Zach and Valent. Zach first. And he was going to, give one of them the rights to the Grammary secrets. And then, we're pretty sure that Valent's the one who actually shot him because he wanted it. So yeah, some shady stuff going in. And it's so funny that he picked the name Shady Smith. Anyway, I was torn over just how big to make it, until that sign whispered the answer to me. That's really beautiful. The Sunshine Coliseum, was it? I'm not sure it actually qualifies as a coliseum, but it's a great form. Yes, it is a favorite of mine. I've always been fond of sunshine. Speaking of which, have you heard what happened here recently? Oh, yeah, something about something going on during some concert. I didn't really care. Exactamundo! I see no reason to hide the fact that I, too, was involved in that case. Well, that's something. Did you help solve it? Ha! What do you take me for? No, I merely serve to deepen the mystery. That's obstruction of justice. I'm a magician! It's my sworn duty to create mystery wherever possible. I don't think I've ever seen a hot air balloon so close. It's a favorite of mine. I've often thought how to use one in my shows. Perhaps for the climax of Valent's Quickdraw Shoot'em returns. I stand on stage, I shoot, and the hot air balloon is pierced. It explodes! What do you think? Thrilling, yes? A little, I guess. But no one inside the Coliseum would be able to see it. Everything's a favorite of his? Yeah, apparently. Everything's his favorite. Especially yellow. Bravo! It took me 4 days of planning to realize that. This guy's got a few screws loose. A man in a costume is handing out balloons to the kids. It's nice to know kids still like balloons somehow. They're a favorite of mine. Again, everything's your favorite. Balloon sellers, that is. I would have them join me on the big stage. They can hand out balloons to the children in the audience. From the stage, how would that work? Wouldn't all those balloons get in the way of seeing your show? Bravo! The possibility had not even occurred to me! Phoenix Wright, entertainment consultant. Alright, what do you got? Tell me about Magnaphy. I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years. Because you couldn't perform Magnaphy's repertoire? Do not be deceived. Balance skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on my way. Zach Grammary, but he's missing. Now dead, but missing. His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought. Zach Grammary murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it as if 'twere only yesterday. Yet, that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. By which you mean, what's his face? Brushel? That guy? The weirdo. With the sweat. Gross. I had no idea. Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudevillain distraction. And here must I stand, smiling at them all. What am I, if not a player in some fiendish farce? Might I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened? Magnaphy's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answer from you. Great! Cyclops! I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago. God, it's weird not having a badge to just shove in people's faces. Tell me about your stamp. Could you take a look at this, Mr. Valent? Your forgiveness, I beg. Valent has eyes for naught but the preparations for his show. The Colosseum, the hot air balloon, the sign. Oh, and the balloon cellar. Ah, right. Sorry. What does the balloon guy have to do with the show? Nope. Alright, he's not gonna talk about anything. Got it. Okay. We gotta break him. Magnaphy's death. Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me. I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years I have endured. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troupe within my grasp. Sorry to do this, Valent. But right now, I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Valent, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. Transferal of rights, going to Trucy. And what might that be? I see it bears the Grammary seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner. But I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnaphy's miracles. What? Zach Grammary? He wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter? Trucy and Nigmar. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days. Preposterous! Zack is gone! Vanished into the void! No, he's dead, but, I mean, yeah, he did disappear for a while. This is the genuine article. Zack was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. Ah! Bunny! Doves! Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead? You're not the only one with that problem. But he shot Magnify! Yes, it was Zack! It was! And then he left. My career as magician fell into darkness. Did you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zack shot Magnify? Was that why you testified? Yes! My way out. It should have been my way out. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valent. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnify Grammary? Ah, shit. Dude, I don't know. Well. Crap. I don't know if I have the answer to this. It was Mr. Hat, just kidding. I don't know that we got proof for who killed Magnify. I have to come back to this. I may not have enough evidence right now to pull this off. A little more legwork. Okay. Let's go look around. Present day Drew Studio. Great, it's Brushel. Well, what do we have here? Remember me? Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in the bar. End quote. Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Measham was poisoned, and his daughters... Oh, yes, I know. Oh, how I know, yes. Everybody's favorite character, yay! Brushes both his teeth and his glasses with the same nasty brush. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he'd track down case just a little quicker. End quote. Were you on the trail of this case the whole time? Zack Grammary was a good friend. Zack said something to that effect back at the Borscht Bowl Club. What a character, what a man! It's a little... no, a lot. No, extremely rough around the edges. Do you think I could ask you a few questions? Oh, you serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not the interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not the other way around. End quote. Fine, shoot. I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately. Great, thanks. Alright, family of orders. It was tragic what happened to Drew Measham and his daughter. Forgery is a serious crime, and they paid the price. You know what really did them in, though, don't you? Oh, goodbye, cat. See you later. Yes, a forged diary page. The night I interviewed him. I found out something about Mr. Misham I hadn't known. What's that? You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years. Walls have ears, potatoes have eyes, end quote. I mean, potatoes do have eyes, but not quite in that way. Okay. Being watched? You mean he felt guilty? No, no. Talking about not talking about feelings here. You know, I felt watched too. Whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back and neck. Freaks out, end quote. Because you felt guilty? Why would I feel guilty? You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. What does it mean? Paranoia. Drew Measham felt like he was being watched. And you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves? Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. But I felt it too. Journalist, sure, he was being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramery got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? That's a good question. He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then, for 7 years, he talks to no one, not a soul. Then, just as the remaining time was almost up, contacts me in order to have this made. And then he dies. Starting to put the pieces together, are we? And you were being watched this whole time? Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too. Me? Let's talk about Zach. I met Zach through that case, actually. You mean the shooting of Magnify Grammary? No, before that. It's not widely known. You mean the accident during the quick draw shooting practice? My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, little puppy, all for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now. I don't know if that would necessarily be a good thing, if I'm being honest here. Talent Grammary did mention one particularly nosy reporter. In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnify Grammary at the time. I knew his daughter too, of course. Thalassa, was it? Really? And Thalassa disappeared, quite suddenly at that. Magnify wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Oh god, look at his nose. Oh god! That's terrible! Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy, end quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Thalassa's husband, see? That'd be Zach. Zach Grammary. Something strange was in the air over at Troop Grammary in those days. Whole skewy mentor-controlling disciple scene had started by then, I'm guessing. Thalassa, she was part of it all, right? Come on, you can tell me, off the record. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know shit. Still trying to figure that out. Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice or 5 times. I'd like to do that. But over time, he came to see me as his confidant. Alright, let's talk about Valent. He hates you. He's been waiting this whole time. 7 years, eh? Waiting? For his big comeback, of course. Big revival of the Magnify miracle. Of course, it was all a dream. Because of this. The performance rights. In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zach and Valent? So, Valent waited until Zach died, legally, at least. The time finally comes, and Valent's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know? That document sees the legal light of day. It's gonna put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that valiant Grammary. Lost out to his partner at work, and love too. Oh, love rivals. You know what? Kinda saw that one coming. Love? It's the same old story, really. Two disciples and their mentor's only daughter. One has three sides and all of them pointy. A love triangle. That is pretty classic. When you're on a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like a family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing. And in the middle of all, Thalassa has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Thalassa. Tell me more. Mr. Brushel, do you know this person? Do I know that person? Of course! I was friends with Zach, after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. But still, I'd never forget his wife. Thalassa Grammary. Magnifi Grammary's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? Perfect. So, Thalassa married Zach, and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually. Oh, really now? You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before. Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. There was another person? Excuse me? He died in an accident on stage. Oh. Tragic, really. They'd only been married 1 year. I didn't know. Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know? Oh, hello. Don't we need that photo with the bracelet to prove the connection between Apollo and her? I've known Trucy since she was a little thing, too. Apollo must be the son between Thalassa and the first husband. Oh, no. Wait, then how come he... What happened? Like, was he put up for adoption? Oh, no. I have so many questions now. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all. What do you mean? Just reminiscing, you know. Thalassa has another child besides Trucy, end quote. It's Apollo. What? But Trucy said she was an only child. Ah, yes. This one she had with her previous husband. Her previous husband? Her first husband who died on stage. Yep, they had themselves a kid. Now they're orphaned now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. Thalassa had another child? Do you think I could borrow that photo? Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know. Thalassa's portrait added to the court record. Perfect. I won't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Trucy before I forget. People and even events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Biggerer and biggerer. Yep, that totally doesn't look familiar at all. Don't you think? I was too busy wondering about Biggerer to listen to anything to what you were saying. Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think. Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next. Next, you say? I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. Magnifi. I was just wondering what Magnifi would think of all this. What do you mean? I've seen it in Trucy. She's got his power. You mean how I can't lie to Trucy? It was the same with Magnifi, and with his daughter, Thalassa. It's a strange thing. You think it's some grammary gene? Magnifi told me once, back when Zack married Thalassa. He said Zack had good eyes, but not good like a Grammary's eyes, not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. Who knows what the Grammary's secret was? Maybe nobody, now that Zack's gone. Zack Grammary. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Grammary fabric and grew, swallowing everything. Wrapping itself around the Grammary's power. A power which passed from Magnifi Grammary to Thalassa to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. Hey! Nice. I think it's time we go here. Okay, I think I have everything I need for this now. Let's bring evidence from the future into the past. Yep, that's not screwy at all. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. First time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yet, I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Thalassa Grammary? Will not speak of that. Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. It's because of the accident, right? The three of you were once a team. Were a team once. Now that the entire country doesn't already... Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the fame. One that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. To you and Valiant Grammary's bullets. It was an accident. It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalassa? I'm sure Valiant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you. Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnifi Grammary has joined her. So the only one with her power left now is Trucy? Mr. Zack? I do not know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else. Someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalassa's power. How would I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There's someone else with the power, and I know who. It's Apollo! This boy. His name is... I forget. It's something weird. That was funny last time, and it's still funny this time. Who could he be? An attorney. Attorney? Look at that face. He's just like, dude, what the fuck? I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices. So, what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like. But you could at least say something like, I'm this boy. I could use a laugh. Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring. A ring? Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link. Hey, this photo we're not supposed to have right now. Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. How did you know this? Her first husband, he died a year after they were wed, yes? He's a reformer. They met when he joined us Grammarys as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. Oh! And you say she had a child then? I have a photograph of her here. I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out. They are a Grammary family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture. What? So, that's why. Why what, Mr. Zack? I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. Oh. Wait, but what did she do with her son? She put Apollo for adoption? That's very sad. I bet I know where that other one went. But why would... Was it, like, too painful for her, or, like, what? She gave it to this boy, her son. Oh, we got a twofer right there. Very nice. Hey, full HP. Perfect. Alright, tell me about the Grammary secret now. This strange power, I myself do not know from where it comes. Yet the fact is that it was passed down the Grammary line. It runs in their veins. What is it? I asked her, Thalassa, once. This is what she told me. The power responds to tension in others. Hi, Momo. Thanks for not jumping on me. Other cat. I know. You're so excited to be on the internet, cat. Good, Momo. Tension? If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they tried to hide it from her. So she could see it? Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects. Objects? Wait, were they something she wore? Yes, her bracelets. I admit the first time I saw one of those, I thought there was more to it than just fashion. But what kind of power could a bracelet have? I've made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift. Cool! Let's talk about Trucy and Apollo. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two are brother and sister, yes. And the brother, too. He has this power of theirs. So, Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not see her live her life without knowing. I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. I am in your debt, once again. No kidding. What I want to know is how all this got to be so messed up. Talk about the bracelets. Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth. So, they're temperature sensitive or something? Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist. Interesting! And this has something to do with the power. What have I told you? The Grammary power reacts to tension in others. When a Grammary senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions in the muscles. So minute they cannot sense it on their own. Interesting! Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With the bracelet on, one can sense these contractions, because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So, when the person they're watching gets tense, bracelet feels tighter on their wrist. Precisely. But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading. What is it, Momo? Oh, I'm sorry. You want attention? We're trying to play a game right now, Momo. I'll put you with this hand so I can keep clicking with this one. I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight. Eyesight? I guess that sounds simple enough. Let's talk about the eyesight thing. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? No. Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? Okay. I've heard of it before. No, I haven't. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped if they focus. Oh, okay. That's cool. Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face, and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of the crowd before one may distract it. So, basically what you're saying is, the Grammarys can see really well? For them, seeing is more than believing, it is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come into focus for me, too. Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something! Ah, that's interesting. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Precisely. But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets. You're talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trucy herself has realized this. That is all I know of things Grammary. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game? Ha, I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night. That night? The night my mentor, Magnifique Grammary, passed from this world to the next. Ooh, yeah, please tell me. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifique's test. A test? In his last years, Magnifique Grammary worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. And this, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this. I give you my art to use, Zack. What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. Though I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. Bah! I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? And of course, I would have given Valent his chance. If I'd shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Valent were to shoot me in the head, then I to the darkness would go, and my art with me. Fitting end, don't you think? Ah. Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I'm sorry. I've done much that was wrong in my day. Seems to me that Magnifique wanted you to be a successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Valent's. Perhaps, but it is not something we will ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Valent up to these days? waiting for you to die. If 7 years passes like this, then the performance rights go to him. Ah. And now, here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know? What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame for our mentor's death on him? The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Valiant had helped you pull it off. That's madness. Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated? Even though I'm dead. That night, Zack Gramarye was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. But he left one thing behind before he parted. This. His confession to use as I saw fit. Oh. To whom it may concern, 7 years past, I, Zack Gramarye, murdered my mentor, Magnify Gramarye. I apologize for the trouble caused by my sudden departure from court, and hereby confess to my crime. Oh, he wants to wipe... He wants to give Valiant a chance to... You know, to perform the magic. Even though he's handing things over to Trucy. But he also said it's up to us to use it as we see fit. So maybe we're supposed to choose? Interesting. Of course, he'd killed no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Valiant Gramarye. Zack's confession out of the court record. Alright, well, I think that's what we need to break Valiant, so let's go back and do that. Let's talk, Valiant. Alright. We literally just did this part. Sorry to do this, Valiant. Alright, you can't perform. As long as I have this. What might that be? Yada yada. Performance rights go to Trucy. He's like, what? And the bunny. The bunny of shock. Why does fate toy with you? Zack totally shot him. Should have been his way out. Who really killed Magnify Gramarye? We've got this confession. I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Some of the music is so happy considering the circumstances. Yeah, kinda, huh? Zack Gramarye wrote one more thing before passing on. But this is a confession! In which he admits to the killing of Magnify Gramarye. See? All according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet, it seems the tables have turned. Now, I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zack wrote this right in front of me. After I explained your situation to him. Alakazam! Oh my god! Nice. Alright, let's talk about Magnify now. You do know that this confession is nothing but lies? I mean, yes, it's my opinion that Zack Gramarye killed no one, which means that you did it, but he's defending you, so, you know, here we are. And you must be thinking that the truth is a simple matter of elimination. 2 received instructions to kill, but if 1 is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That'd be the logical conclusion, yes. So, he vanished to protect me, his partner. A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magnify Grammary in the forehead? If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will, there's nothing left for me now. Could that have been someone else who showed up there and used the pistol to kill him? It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnify's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me. I knew it. So, Valiant Grammary did kill the great Magnify. So sorry, Mr. Wright. Oh, Momo, you're so cute! That was really... I saw that! I could see it on the screen and the camera. You flipped over and it was adorable. This cat loves belly scratches. It's really funny. He's like a puppy. Meh? Okay. But it was not I who shot my mentor. What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? Another disciple, such as... I don't know. Knack in Talent Grammary, maybe? Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valiant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now? Wasn't Zack or Valiant. Who shot Magnify? Then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... What? Wait. You don't mean... Yes, the great Magnify Grammary himself! I'm sorry, what? I think my brain just melted a little bit. Suicide? So, Magnify Grammary committed suicide? You find it hard to believe? To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So, you spoke with Magnify Grammary? Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnify transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Grammary, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. Yeah, I mean, me too. I also definitely thought that he did it. Oops. Sorry, dude. You owe me no apology. Huh? My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? Explain. Is Valiant Grammary confessing something to me? What could be more serious than murder? You see, I knew that the 2 letters had been sent. Okay. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnify's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands? Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon, let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnify, and I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What? That night, I prepared something before going to Magnify's hospital room, which was IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then, I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. Isn't that, like, what happened, though? So if you didn't do it, then who did it? But you didn't shoot him. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. And then, Magnify called me back. Oh, I gotta stretch. Okay. I'm sorry, Valent. I'm giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him if you can. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard the fateful gunshot. Why did you testify to that? Why did you say that during the court case 7 years ago? Bro? Gonna saved us a lot of trouble. Magnify Grammary killing himself. Then, the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Frame him, and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of his suicide. Great, thanks. So okay. This is why he was being super shady. Alright, cool. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints. Then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I'd brought in. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnify died, and you framed Zack for his murder. As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but yes. I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valent. Thank you. It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're gonna turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. Had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zack Grammary was alive. Well, not anymore. Kinda still died in the end. And now it occurs to me. What if he was not the only one who survived? What do you mean? Are we talking about the Lhasa who is almost certainly La Miroir? You see, now that I think about it, I realize that we never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. Her? The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies. Forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner, Zack Grammary. Then, I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I'm glad that we had this chance to talk. Thank you. Zack Grammary, Shady Smith, whichever name you prefer, is no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. Doesn't he have, like, the black ones, though? I don't know if I can break these. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. What's in the letter? I'm gonna snoop. There it is. The yellow envelope. And the sender is Drew Measham. I was right. I arrived at the studio. Mr. Measham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope, and it was left at the crime scene. If this is the last letter that Drew Measham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Oh, look, and there's the stamp that clearly is the one that... Yep, okay. Here goes. Let's see if this atrakinine spray finds anything. So, this was Drew Measham's messenger of death. It was this stamp, alright, no mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you. So please, release the spell you put on my daughter. I'll write later with the report. Oh, okay. The spell that she can't go out without the nail polish? Is that what the one we're talking about? Gotcha. Oh, did you just twitch in your sleep? Cute cat. Letter from Measham added to the court record. Finally, decisive evidence. What's this? A burglar in jail? Gavin? I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Measham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There were no known survivors of atrakinine poisoning. It is good music. But it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. Goofy hobo hat as a camera? You sneaky bastard, Phoenix. Okay. Okay, then. We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now, it is time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. That camera badge was on Emma's shirt in the Rise from the Ashes? That's cool. That's very cool. Whole team's working together. That was awesome. Alright, saving. Let's continue. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is he talking to the jury right now? That's awesome. We're the jury. Is the defendant, Vera Misham, innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Courtroom number 3, preparations complete! Episode 4, Turnabout Succession. Something inside me. Rising, surfacing. It's all coming together. Totally looks like he's breaking the fourth wall. Yep. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. October 9th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Oops. Acute atokinine poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right, if Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not gonna let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm gonna get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well, your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. But Vera was poisoned with atroquinine, the exact same poison that took her father's life. That poor Wall! What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. There's a dent in the wall now from how many times he smacked it. I know, that poor Wall doesn't deserve this kind of abuse. Clavier, be nice. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. I have many objections. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. Is that so? Then you have to prove something. She was in court, giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. Prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I've got two things to prove here. Who did it, and how. Which to hit first. I have a feeling it was in the nail polish. It's funny how two of the previous culprits are associated with Clavier. Ooh. You're right. That sucks for him. It's really funny to watch the cat's face twitch when he's sleeping. Sorry, I got distracted. Let's start with the how. How did the killer poison Vera Measham? I will focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Measham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Measham? Nail polish. What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Judge! Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. Judge, 2 people are dead. So, the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it? No, she put it on and then it was slow to absorb because it's mixed with other stuff. Good morning, Momo. Did you just kick me when waking up? Oh, no, you're going back to sleep. Alright, good night. As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails. Know any woman with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails. I see, so she's been painting them all this time. I feel a little bad for his wife. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Because only women use nail polish? I know, isn't that, like, very, very sexist? Guys can use nail polish, too. It's fine. Anyone can use nail polish. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing- Oh, she was chewing on her fingernails and ingested it! Ooh. That's bad. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Don't bite your nails, kids. It's bad for your nails, and apparently sometimes can get you killed if someone puts poison in your nail polish. Her nails. Ah. Prosecutor Gavin. When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice? Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Measham? Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? Look at him sweat. No, I'm just checking. You liar. Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation? Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem, I know what I'm doing this time. Then, let us ask. Who poisoned Vera Measham via her nail polish? Christoph? What's this? Christoph Gavin? That's your game. My bro, there's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. Oh, I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps It was 7 years ago. But you like when the judge threatens you with a double penalty, but you were already on 1 HP? That does happen sometimes. It's like, ha! Your threats don't mean anything to me. I'm fucked either way. Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. He's sweating bullets over there. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there's a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. Ah, Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Ugh. What, I feel like somehow he's still my boss?
Stiff up her lip, Apollo. You can do it.
Those two still don't know that they're related. That's so cute. Does this bottle look familiar to you? The ordinary nail polish? Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet! And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her and for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Measham was poisoned. Trichine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier, maybe you can explain this? He's just like, brother, you didn't! Oh. You're being accused again. By him. Again. Ah, and you agree with his accusation, do you? This brotherly tension. Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. Charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Measham. Please testify on this matter to the court. Poisoning Vera. Let's nail this dude. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father and then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too? Oh, well, I mean, you were. It was just, it took 7 years to get what you wanted. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Meashams. That's bullshit. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Meashams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Alright, press everything. Owning the same nail polish doesn't make him a murderer. True. Tell me, is this nail polish expensive? Iodine is a nail polish of the highest order. Not only is it fabulously expensive, but it is made in extremely limited quantities. And you and Vera just happen to both use it? That can't be a coincidence. I'm guessing it's not a coincidence. Huh? It's simple. Ariadne is the best nail polish one can buy, correct? Then, if one wanted the best nail polish, one would buy it. That makes sense. Why, it's a bit like my feelings toward my brand name gavel here. There's a brand name gavel?
And my silk top hat.
Are we all done showing off our refined tastes? Please continue with your tasteful testimony. Mama, what are you doing? Oh! Hello, Midna! A third cat is just staring at me from the hallway. Standing on something. Okay. He's been in solitary for half a year. How could he poison her? How? How, he asks. Can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary? Ah, so he had an accomplice on the outside? Is this your latest accusation? I'm allowed a certain modicum of letter writing. But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request.
Prosecutor Gavin's on the warpath, isn't he?
Yeah, you think so too, Trucy?
Bet I know why. He must be nervous with his big brother watching.
And maybe that's a weakness I can turn to my advantage. Are we cool with that? May I continue? Father died of the same poison. Defendant's not dead yet. There are no known cases of someone surviving atrakinine poisoning. You seem to know a lot about atrakinine. I know a lot about a lot of things, which is why I suggest we pick up the pace, or else you'll be short one defendant for what she's worth. The witness will refrain from speaking ill of the ill. Yeah, he is kind of being a prick. My apologies. Shall I continue? Look at that smug-ass face. What a jerk. Prosecution's case holds. Barrett had no reason to want to commit suicide. And also, who would commit suicide by doing their nails? The answer is quite simple, basically. Allow me to explain, beginning with why did she do it? The answer is quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish to poison herself? This too is simple. So she could die doing something that she liked. Something she liked? Once she saw that the trial wasn't going her way, she knew she would die. And it's not easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Must I explain it further? I believe that's clear enough. Crystal clear.
Wow, the two brothers together is like a two-man wrecking team.
They could use a little more teamwork, though. Surely we're not going to suggest he's responsible for poisoning her father, too. Yeah, I mean... because you are. Both Vera and Mr. Measham were poisoned with atrakinine. That really can't be a coincidence. The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on conjecture. The prosecution requests concrete, unambiguous proof as the witnesses' claims. Suddenly now, Clavier is like, let me whip out the big words. The big legal lawyer words. And clear statements. Objection sustained! Defense will please present concrete proof.
Does Prosecutor Gavin seem strange to you, too? It's like he's all grown up.
I think that's how prosecutors are supposed to be, actually. He's just trying to, like, show his brother that he can do good. Though he is acting different than usual. He's being very professional, it's weird. Bet it has a lot to do with his brother Kristoff being in the room.
Well, let's make this testimony count, Apollo.
Right, quick and painless. My bracelet should do the trick. Okay, I'm questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight, but he's lying. I'm sure I'll be able to see something, as long as I focus. Pretty sure it's this one. Poisoning. Yeah, his hand's twitching. Gotcha! Mr. Gavin, you're nervous about something. There's that finger pointing at me so rudely. And that desperate gleam in your eyes. It's quite disturbing, actually. Perhaps because you have no faith in your own logic. Which is why you cling to your dubious power. Confident or not, I've come a long way, Mr. Gavin. Just a little more to go. I need a word. There must be some word that sends shivers down his spine. A word. A word. It sends a shiver down his spine? There's an address on here and a name I've never heard of. At least, I think so. It's too blurry to read. Not sure why that didn't work. I was looking at the right place. Okay, well let's just try it again then. We know it's his hand. Poisoning. Holy shit, look at that! Well, that's creepy. Why does he have a skull? And there's a scar in his hand too, but it makes it look like a skull on his hand. That's creepy.
Gotcha!
It was you who killed Drew Measham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said, her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. Creepy! And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Measham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. Yep, it's the devil on his hand. Apparently. The devil lives in this man's hand. You don't need nail polish to get someone's mouth. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Measham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. That's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Measham. Take that! No, not? My. Here I thought you'd come so far, huh? Admire how you, lacking any confidence whatsoever, chose to barrel on. Do I need to use the stamp itself, not the letter? I think it's the stamp itself. Oops. Your defense lacks even a shred of elegance, much like Phoenix Wright, come to think of it. Relax, Justice. I've come this far. I must know the answer. How did the killer get to the victim when the killer was in jail? This is how you poison Mr. Measham. With a stamp. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Measham died, he was seen writing a letter. Atropine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So, might understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes. The stamp was found in your prison cell. Give me back my HP. That is all, Your Honor. Order! 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 Poison on the back of that stamp? After Drew Measham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright.
Daddy?
That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Measham write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Rude? Be nice to Clavier. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need is to recall witness Spark Burchell's testimony.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Measham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp. So-called postage stamp. End quote.
He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in the frame. It was a mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence? He does have a point. How would this witness know the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What?
Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spinned bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Measham would use that stamp that night? Least of all Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. So defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you, but the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Christoph. What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin? Air forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poisoned stamp killed Drew Measham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Measham would use the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Measham died by that stamp, that's all. Coincidence? Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. And silence the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice? What? You accuse me of Drew Measham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive! He's talking about a motive!
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose.
So, what does it mean?
It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital, element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about... Wrong Gavin! I'd say it's about this vital. Damn. That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice? I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. I'd like to save, actually. That's a big penalty. No, we're not returning. Then let us see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Measham? Because he ordered the forged evidence? I know... I don't know if it's the right time to use this. But at least it's gonna be the right track. I just don't know if it's the right answer right now. But we're gonna try it, and then we're gonna see how it goes. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Measham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Measham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammary's diary. Ah, when Attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But, did Mr. Wright request the forgery to be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? Mr. Drew Measham, I've deposited $100,000 in the designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. This is the first page. Sign the papers and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Measham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Measham drew his last breath just the other day. However, The motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to that forgery. To keep them from talking? But he made a mistake.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Your forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? That one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp, and it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding these two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Measham was none other than Phoenix Wright. Nuh-uh, there's no proof that he's the one who ordered it. Yeah, objection! Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began.
Oh boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know, I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with spiky hair.
And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand I am asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now, here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? No. This can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin! Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, witness? I mean, defendant? Former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this. It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. And impossible to prove if you can't. You motherfucker, you erased the records that you were his previous attorney, weren't you? Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? God damn it. That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield. Your forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence?
What's with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy.
I mean, I have this, but... Evidence. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier. Just prove it. Clear up these doubts now. I swear I'm off this case. Damn.
He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo.
Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Measham? Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Measham 7 years ago. Prove it! It can be proven. Saving again. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not... Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justus? I am. Then, I say we give him some benefits of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion— You son of a bitch! I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice? Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Let's save here. You jerk! Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Measham. And something that clearly does the job. Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Measham. The letter. This evidence proves there's a link. That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't.
Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.
Phoenix! Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright is yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. Handwriting's terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Reproduction? When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. Video camera will prove that that was actually in his cell. What? Ah, look at him. His face is crinkling up. He's mad. He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin. And the contents of your personal mail. He's very angry. Regardless. Oh, his face is twitching. He's really mad. This mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video. A man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? Can we just, like, go down to a cell and grab his mail? Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. Defense's claim is denied. Shit.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. You snake. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christophe Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something!
I'm thinking, but without evidence. I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well, this ends the special witness's cross-examination. Thank you! Thank you, Clavier. Yes, guitar riff, do it. The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin? Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole useful ink scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Crystal? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? The trial is actually kind of short? Huh. Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. Oh shit, my camera crashed. Hold on. Why do you like this camera? Fresh. Hey, there we go. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, Air Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Air Right? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment, you call in Drew Measham. It was almost as if... What? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Ah! Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christophe. What? 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 That's what Apollo says. I kind of saw this coming. I mean, obviously we saw this coming. It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christophe, odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. And he's just there, polishing up his guitars. Ah, I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I will be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who'll be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen. I want you to call on a special witness. Then... Oof. I wondered about it at the time. How did Christophe know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christophe? We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case.
The victim's belongings?
Which would have included Magnavy's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin? My, Claudia, you disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug, not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. See no harm in a little reminiscing.
Paulo?
I think we're finally gonna shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Grammary. 2 cards. 1 card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. Opening cutscene again? Yep. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. So as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete.
Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. You couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. Oh, he mad. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man. I deserve to die for that error alone. Wow. Hold it! So, the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Grammary both deserved what they got. So, you asked Mr. Measham to forge that evidence so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Grammy's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. That sounds like an admission. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years.
You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said every day for 7 years. And I felt it too. Journalists say he's being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Grammary got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me?
Wait just a minute! Zach Grammary was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramery, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father?
What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him!
Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveler was Zach Gramery.
What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later.
Did she already know? She's surprisingly not upset about this. So I have a feeling Phoenix already told her. Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnifi Gramery's death started it. Magnifi Gramery's death and his suspect, Zach Gramery, the suspect. Sorry, his student, Zach Gramery, the suspect. There we go. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Measham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atroquinine. Applied to a commemorative stump. But luck was on Mr. Measham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadne nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Measham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah. That nail polish was her good luck charm. Crap, what was his voice? I forgot. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house.
That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me.
Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client. One who wanted that note made. It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she'd run into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. That's weird considering how you're a defense attorney and you should also be doing this normally. Mr. Gavin! Have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. He's saying we don't have proof. What? Hey, Chirico. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There you go. There, you're on the camera again. Clavia, you understand. Back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the actual canines that took Drew Misham's life. What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Grammary to keep him from talking. I killed no man in that name. Read over the report again, if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. Can't seriously think I knew that he was that particular fugitive. Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably far from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is the defendant, Vera Misham, who was on trial here.
No, but you were doing so good, Apollo.
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him. This course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. You still don't get it, do you? Let's assume that there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails?
What?
It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
What? What? What kind of twisted logic is that, you jerk?
Evidence is everything. There's nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Your Honor!
Mr. Justice, you performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christoph, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Does the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system.
That's right! I'd totally forgotten.
The juris system! Juris, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. The new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers. Rude? Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense.
Holy shit, look at him twitch!
There's only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep them riffraff out. Out, I say.
Damn, you're pompous.
They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright? Oh, he's gonna blow. So, everything was leading to this, of course. Right. 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 Wah! Holy crap! He went Super Saiyan on us. Oh, and now he's a mess. He messed up his hair. Breakdown time. I won't accept this. I can't accept... This is no court. He's got them crazy eyes. Where did his pupils go on this side? Law. Law is everything. Law is absolute. He may be a bit insane. Yeah, maybe. He's got them crazy eyes. You'd let ignorant swine swallow your courts? Kristoff, it's over. Clavier? The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. Clavier sees something on the ceiling? What's up there, Clavier? The law is the end product of many years of history, fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive, and pass on, and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough? But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. The painter Drew Misham, however, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Someday I'll know what law is. Sir, you're a lawyer? Yeah, that doesn't really show a lot of confidence. Apollo, whose last name is Justice. I'd be a little concerned to be your client at this moment. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court, for the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. Damn. October 9th, 12:48 p.m., Jurors' Chambers. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait! Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved in the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I looked into all of your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of this case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your question? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well. Oh, it's Lamirwa! we're choosing? I wonder if she got it. This is definitely Thalassa Grammary. Her hair. She's not the one who put the poison there. Yep. Hey, Mom. Bit of an easy decision. Yeah, right? Like, why would you say she's guilty? And so, a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the juror system. Innocent, by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, Special Witness Christoph Gavin laughed. It gives you a really creepy bad ending if you choose guilty. Oh my god. That's terrible. A laugh louder than any ever heard before, or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Measham opened her eyes. October 10th, 10:12 a.m., Hickfield Clinic. Isn't this Phoenix's room? Because all the Steel Samurai stuff, and then the little piano, and the wine. Grape juice. Vera, I'm so glad
Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about... What if Vera...
Hey now. Don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera?
Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If they hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails.
I knew you would pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future.
Stream offline? Uh-oh. Back up now? What happened? It didn't even show up in OBS. I do see it on the bitrate on the dashboard. I don't know what happened there. Okay. So what we missed was Trusty was like, that's what... Oh, the internet farted for a moment? That sucks. Alright, so Trusty was all like...
Oh, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time, Vera. Your future.
So that's where we are. That's all that happened in that couple of seconds. That's so weird. I don't know why it does that. Let me refresh this dashboard here. It's really annoying when it does it too, because I have to like paste the videos together when I upload them to YouTube. And the program that I'm using to do that like sometimes doesn't want to cooperate. So it's pretty frustrating. Okay, anyway.
I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you.
No, really, it's okay.
Oh, look, it's me.
That's cute. She drew a little Trucy picture. I love it.
I love it, thanks.
Apollo? Do we get Apollo too? Yeah! Just his hair. Just his hair! Is that me?
She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least.
Just the horns. Nice.
That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is?
The other lawyer?
Oh, you mean Daddy. Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from things that I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize.
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier.
That's why the room looks the same. He brought everything over here. Thanks, Phoenix. I don't know why you, the grape juice was probably for him. Me and that stack of videos, Mr. Wright finished watching them all?
You know, I knew my real daddy was alive.
Huh?
I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom.
You did what? How?
I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammary, after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he?
It's okay, Felix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano.
That he can't.
Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kinda loud sometimes.
Glad I made your list.
Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy, the one who can't play? Do you know, Apollo?
I think he said he had to meet someone.
I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy.
Or maybe he's up meeting with your actual mom. And my mom, apparently, or Apollo's mom. Our mom.
Oh, Trucy? Yes, Farah? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted, yet. Here goes. Just an impersonation, Mr. Hat.
Objection! Not loud enough, and I like Miss Magic Underwear better, anyway.
That's magic panties, Apollo!
Hey, Dr. Lupin, what's up? All this animation budget went to Mr. Hat? Yep. So, your memories returned.
Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan, too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, I was reborn as the Miroir. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists.
Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course, it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children.
Just came in from outside seeing Vampire Survivor Madness with Kat. Is he still playing? He's been playing for... He said it was going to be a short Vampire Survival stream. So, he's been going for a while.
I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you.
You gonna tell them?
They do not know?
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then,
Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you.
Aww.
They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her, at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside.
Aww.
Your bracelet.
Yes?
I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now, in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore away
It tore who I was away. A half-assed front-facing sprite for Apollo? Yeah. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright." Speaking of miracles, Vera Measham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. I mean, okay, hold on. And that's pretty much the end of the story. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel, here comes justice. Oh, we gotta get ready to read all the credits.
I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammary. Tracy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Tracy Grammary? Frankly, I got my doubts, but... Hat Grammary? No, that's... Sorry, I, completely flooded that and then I didn't get to read the end. Anyway. That's cool. It's not every day you get the trials that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The governors are breaking up. So news costs a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Thanks? I like how we get to see all the photos. That's pretty cool. Love the critics' music here. It's a slowed version of Apollo's theme. Oh, that's cool. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. God damn it, Phoenix. Hi, Cat. Oh, it's Emma! And the Corinto. So I was standing around eating snackoos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. That's what I have! I have the golden ones. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. But we have those. We have those right here! They're golden. We have the things that Emma wanted. Very nice. In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. But if greater challenge is being required, then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for.
Wonder how many photos we're gonna get. There's a hungry cat next to me, headbutting the shit out of me. Oh god. It's Plum. So, Kitaki Pastries is getting back to the Eastern roots, spread the culture of all. Yo boss, culture time! This is how we write root, capiche? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo boss, PR time! It's his eyes! And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Whew, kids! Nice. Zoy! Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Believe that? Man, you wanna make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made these. OG cracker for real. I know it don't look like no cracker, G. What you wanna call it, OG muffin? I mean, okay, Walkie. Okay, Walkie. OG muffins. I don't know where all this talk about something you got. I mean, there's only food and that's only one food and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend Aldoon's noodles is about the salt? Salt forever! Oh god, I don't want broth that salty. Please stop. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler, and now Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. Oh my god. Shio ramen, yeah? Yeah, it is Shio ramen. Sicko! Sicko mode? It's terrifying.
I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song.
She looks so pretty. Yeah, she does. Aw, Mom. So is she still blind? That's my question. Bashel. Bashel here, back on the beat with another interview. Eh? How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but the journal is confident in mint condition. End quote! We didn't need him. We didn't need that. That was completely unnecessary. And he covered Gavin. I am so offended.
I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose we'll have to see a bit of the outside world to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
Aww. You're welcome, Mira. Aww. That's a cute photo. Or drawing. Worst part about Brushel is his personality isn't bad, he just looks terrifying. Yeah, he's not that bad of a person, but god, he's like a little creepy looking. He's just really gross. He's a gross person. He's a nice guy, but he's gross. Oh, that's it! We did it! We did it, guys. Aww. That was so much fun. We did it! We finished! Ace Attorney! Hold on, let me put some background music on so it's not all super quiet. Alright, the next game after this, we're not gonna do it for... We're gonna take a 2-week break on Ace Attorney because I'm gonna be gone the next 2 weeks. But in June... So in June 4th should be the next time I'll be here on a Saturday. Yeah, it'll be Dual Destinies. We're gonna start it up then. So, yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. This was a lot of fun. This was a good game. Man, it was like a trip when it was like, oh, Phoenix lost his badge. Oh, he's a hobo now. And a wino. Hobo, wino, Phoenix. That's what we started with here. Being accused of murder, of course, because, you know, why not? And then it turned into this whole thing. And who knew? Who would have seen coming that Apollo was gonna be related to Trucy? That was a nice twist. And we found their mom. That's so cute. I can't wait till they find that discovery. I hope that we get to see that eventually. Should definitely play Investigations 2 off stream. It's really good. You know what? Maybe that is a thing I could do off stream. Since we don't have a good way to do it on stream, but maybe off stream would be a good idea. I'll figure out. I need to look at where it is chronologically for Investigations 2, and then I'll play that off stream. But anyway, that was a lot of fun. So I think what we're gonna do now. Let's see if Neoneko's still. Yeah, he's still going. All right. So I think the plan here is we'll end Investigations 2 right after Investigations 1. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'll just go look for a thing of it and then play that on my own time. Okay, cool. Okay, so like I said, 2-week break because I'm going to be out of town for the next 2 weekends. Not like the entire time, it's just I'll happen to be gone on the weekends twice. So I think what we'll do... I'm trying to think. There is something else that I want to do too, but I'm like, should I just take a break? Me being out just means a major thing you can buy and play Spirit of Justice. You should! It's on BlueStacks. Or rather, it's on the Play Store and Apple Store, and if you get BlueStacks, you can, you know, play it from your PC. So, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll stop here for the day. We'll go raid Neoneko. He's playing Vampire Survivors. And then maybe I can take care of some other stuff tonight. And then maybe tomorrow we'll play more Boyfriend Dungeon. That's the game that we started on Thursday, which it sounds like a really weird game, but it's actually really fun. And the characters are pretty quirky too. Except one of them's like a total creep, which, you know what? Ace Attorney has some people who are total creeps too, so it's fine. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching and like for staying